Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with Stretch the Sketch. So we have this 12 by 12 today and I just thought it would be really nice as a double page layout. So I'm pretty much going to try and stay true to the sketch. Of course, I'm doing Christmas this month, so instead of the stars, I'm going to have Christmas trees. But other than that, I'm pretty much trying to stick to what that sketch was. I really liked that it was kind of symmetrical. I really liked how clean it was. So this is going to be a pretty simple page, but I'm using this little Mambi kit. I think this is the first page I'm getting to do with this collection, and I just really wanted to take advantage of all the different pattern papers and all the ephemera that kind of came in this collection. So it was still really fun, even though it kind of turns out more one of those clean and simple pages. But I'm just trying to look at the sketch and see which papers I want to be which layers. I'm trying to use the more solid papers as the layers where I'm going to have a lot going on, and then the kind of layers that I'm not too worried about things getting lost on is going to be this really fun multi-pattern stripe with lots of different banners on it. So I think that's really cute. So now I'm just trying to lay out kind of which layers are going to be which in the sketch. And this is pretty much the base of my layout. So now that I kind of have that together, you can see I'm using 3 4x6s instead of some small vertical pictures. So now I'm taking it all apart. I kind of sped this part up a lot because this is just me gutting. There's a whole lot of paper that's covered because I'm using so many different patterns on this page. So I sped this part up a lot for you guys so you kind of didn't have to sit through it at a slower pace. But I'm just gutting the large chunks that are going to be covered. And I'm really glad I did that because this green background I really want to have as another layer kind of in towards the middle of the page on top of the red layer. So I'm glad I was able to gut that so I could use it again once I kind of got going on this page. I was also finding that a lot of this stuff was kind of running into each other. There's a lot of some patterns are green on green and some patterns run red on red. So I decided I was just going to ink everything in black just so you kind of had that subtle shadow around the edge of everything, just so kind of you could see the edges of all the papers and it didn't look super flat. So that's also what I'm doing as I get going here, but I'm pretty much just gluing everything back how it was, and this is that chunk of the green that I gutted from the background. I'm going to add an additional layer just because I kind of feel like when I stretch a sketch from a 12 by 12 into a double, because you're pulling all these elements wide, it can kind of look plain a little bit because everything's not as tight together as it was originally. So I really find by adding a couple layers, it really helps with that. So that's why I decided to go in with an additional layer and add this green bit behind my photos. And I also feel like these photos just stand out better on the green. A lot of the stuff in the photos are blue and it was kind of clashing going straight onto the red. I didn't want the blue and red to read patriotic, even though it's very clear that this is a Christmas layout. But these photos are from Christmas when Bennett got this really cool tent that looks like a rocket. And he had so much fun in it, so you can kind of see the progression of him playing in his tent. And he was kind of playing peekaboo with the flap, and then the one photo, my mom crawled in there with him. And then you can see in the last photo on the right, he kind of pulled a whole bunch of blankets and pillows in there with him to kind of create a little fort. So Marcus is just peeking in on him to see his little setup. So I thought all of those photos were really cute and I really wanted to document them all. So I think that turned out nice, but that's kind of why I wanted this to be a double. A lot of the times when I do 3 4x6s on a page, I kind of end up doing the same go-to design, which I really like, but I don't want my album to seem repetitive when I do have that kind of layout. So I really wanted to take this opportunity to have a sketch like this when I could use those photos in a different way, which is nice. You can see kind of off screen, I went through one of the other pattern papers that just had a whole bunch of Christmas trees on them, and I fussy cut a bunch of them. I really wanted to do that the second I saw that paper, but the little kind of the photo that's on the packaging of an example layout, they did that on that example layout too, and I just thought it looked so cute. So I really wanted to use that Christmas tree paper that way, especially because this sketch kind of has this diagonal cluster of butterflies, and I really thought it would be nice if I could do the same thing with these Christmas trees. So I'm just trying to layer them up and kind of create the same kind of diagonal flow. I'm trying to layer some of the big ones with the small ones and make sure I got all the different types of patterns in there. A couple of these smaller Christmas trees that are on top of larger Christmas trees, I'm popping up on some foam just so there's a little bit of dimension, which I think is really sweet. So I'm just working on that right now, getting all of those foam dots on there. And I think we're almost done here. I just have that one other Christmas tree I decided to layer up. But yeah, and then this collection also came with some layered ephemera as well, with some really fun red glitter and some gems, like plastic gems. So you can see I already put my title on there. I really wanted to use that Christmas cheer piece. And then it actually came with chipboard alphas too that were kind of a multi-font red glitter, so I thought I could kind of do my title in that open space under the photo to the right. In the sketch, there's a journaling spot there, but again, I kind of feel like these photos are self-explanatory to me, so I don't need to say too much about it, but I do want to take advantage of those really fun, glittery chipboard alphas, especially since I have this Christmas cheer piece that has that red glitter too. I kind of want that to be balanced, so you'll see me kind of get to that once I get all of these Christmas trees down. It just takes me a minute to kind of layer those out. There's a whole bunch of layered stuff, so I kind of want to get some more of those chipboard pieces that come in this collection down as well. And then there's a really cute puffy sticker sheet that Karina sent me that was Christmas themed, so I'll go in towards the end with those too, just to add some extra Christmas goodies. But yeah, I think that turns out sweet. I think all my Christmas trees are down now. There you can see those chipboard alphas. You don't get a whole lot of letters, but I had what I needed to spell out happy times. I only had one P, so I do think I use a D and turn it upside down for my second P. But I think that works well. I really like the difference in font. So there's some skinny ones, some lowercase, some uppercase. I think that's really kind of fun and whimsical, so I'm just trying to flow with it. And then there's a whole set of kind of plastic gems that come with this collection that are like white, red, and green. And I couldn't help myself. I wanted to use all of them on this one page. So you'll see once I get my title down, I go in with the gems. And I start with just sprinkling them around the title. But then I decide to heck with it. I'm going to use this whole sheet. So I end up sprinkling them around the Christmas trees too, which I really think accentuates that diagonal flow. I really like that. And I think it kind of is a nod to the gems that are on my Christmas cheer piece. And I think it kind of makes the whole page cohesive. I think it would have looked kind of funny if the gems were only around the title and only around the Christmas cheer. So now there's just gems and everywhere. So that was really fun, but I'm glad I got to use them all. I don't scrapbook Christmas that much, and I don't have a lot of Christmas stuff. So when I do use them, I just want to go for it. So that was a lot of fun. There's a few left on here that I'm trying to figure out where they want to go. I definitely focus on the title first, but you'll see I keep going, and now I'm adding them to the Christmas trees. And yeah, I'm going to use that whole sheet, so just bear with me as I mess around with that. I'll go in with some more embellishment too, but while I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of trying to look at my layers, and I followed the sketch pretty closely. One thing I am kind of missing is there was a border punch that was supposed to be on the journaling piece, but instead of the journaling piece, I did my title. But I was really liking the texture and the detail that border punch added in the sketch. So I decided to go in with a scallop border punch and punch a scallopy border, just had a plain white to run across the bottom part of my layout, and I really think that added layer was needed as well. There's some scallopy details in this striped paper that's on either page, but I just felt like it needed something else because it is more of a plain page, even though there is a lot going on with the gems and the Christmas trees and everything. And now I'm adding some word stickers up there to kind of mimic the banners that were in the sketch. So I feel like there's a lot going on this page and not enough going on this page all at the same time, which is kind of weird, but it was still really fun to play with all of these goodies. So you'll kind of see where we end up. I think this is where I go in with my border punch. So I just had a scrap piece of white there, and I'm just going to go in with that scallop border punch just to add another little detail. And it's amazing like how much that little detail really adds to a page. Like if you think your layers are just looking kind of meh, just grab a border punch and just tuck it under the bottom layer and you're usually good. I just think it adds so much to a page if you think it's looking kind of square or too plain. I just think this usually does the trick. So I'm just punching either side of the sheet and I'm going to cut it down the middle. That way I have enough to go onto both 12 by 12s. But it's pretty much going to run from behind that Christmas tree in the lower left all the way across the page to the end of the striped layer on the right. So I really like that. Just takes me a minute. I missed a couple of those punches, so I had to go back and fill in the gaps, but that's okay, it happens. I'm going to cut that in the middle, and then I will run that underneath, and I just think that looks so cute. I just love what that adds to the page. I actually decided not to ink the white. I know I was inking all my main layers, but I actually decided to not ink the Christmas trees and to not ink this white scallop just because I really did want those to kind of stand out with the fresh white edge. So I did kind of do that intentionally so it looked super fresh. I had to pull the gems off down there so I could get my border down. And then I pulled the glue dot off the back of the gems, so I had to go in with my Tombow Mono Multi to glue those back down. But I think we're almost done with my layers here, and then I think I get to go in with some Acrina's puppy stickers, which were really fun to play with once I kind of get that figured out. I do go in the layered chipboard sheet that the Christmas cheer was on. Had a really cute glittery circular snowman piece that is the same red glitter, so I definitely want to use that too. And then there's a little green joy on the chipboard layered sheet that I want to pull in, so you'll see that in a minute. But while I had the white scallopy border, I had a little extra, and there is actually a scallopy detail by the title in the sketch, so I popped a little bit of that scrap up there as well, just as a nod to the original. And there's that really cute little snowman ephemera. I think that looks adorable. I'm going to add that with a Christmas tree. I just think the Christmas trees look a little plain, so I just want to add a little bit more fun stuff. And then here's that puppy sticker sheet from Karina, so I'm going to add another fun red Christmas tree, a little red car with a Christmas tree on top, and then there's a little cute red bird that I'm going to add to one of these trees over here. So I think that looks cute. I couldn't help myself. I had to pull in some of those puppy stickers on this one. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out everyone else playing with Stretch the Sketch today to see what they did with this sketch. I'm really interested to see if other people did a double. Or if they squished it down to a smaller format. I think it would look really cute, but they should be linked in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.